Got a few problems with the getting Pi set up at the minute, but someone should be on that, and I can keep talking while we do that. Okay, so welcome. My name is Richardson. I used to be a teacher. At the minute, I'm an author. I'm currently writing a book on programming Minecraft with Python, and I am also writing another book which is learning Python for beginners, which is aimed at 11 to 17-year-olds, which should be quite interesting because they're quite a diverse group. This talk is on using Minecraft Pi in the classroom, specifically to learn programming. There are other uses for it as well, but I won't be covering those today. Because this is a Raspberry Jam, I'm assuming that in some way you're interested in learning how to teach programming. So the first thing I want to go over is what is Minecraft. Generally, when you mention Minecraft to children, a lot of their faces light up. Adults, on the other hand, they haven't necessarily come across it all the time. A lot of the time when I mention it to adults, they say, oh, my niece is interested in that, or my son's interested in that, but I haven't really looked into that. So if you're a teacher, it's kind of understandable because you're so busy with so many things. So effectively, what Minecraft is a game exactly like Lego, where you place blocks, where you build things using blocks. So there's pretty much a game world, and you walk around that world as a person, and you can build your own castles, you can build your own houses, you can pretty much create whatever you want. And this creative freedom is the reason that Minecraft is one of the most popular games in the world today. There are millions of copies sold. There is millions, if not billions, made from merchandising. Small children absolutely love it, so do adults as well. For example, recently the #1 best-selling book in the UK was a Minecraft book on how to build different things. This book is only maybe 40 pages long, but it's on the #1 best-selling list in the UK at the minute. Excellent. Can you just log in and stuff while I... So Minecraft, as I said, the reason it's so popular is because it's creative. It gives people the freedom to do whatever they want. This is one of the reasons that Lego is so popular. People, even children, can let their imagination just run free. Instead of saying these are the boundaries, kids will walk away from thinking, oh, I can build this, or this is how I can do this, this is what my friend's done, this is how I do it. So it captures their imagination, which in my mind is one of the most important things for inspiring people to learn things. So in the classroom, as Matthew mentioned earlier, inspiring people, capturing their creativity is one of the most important things in order to actually get them into a subject, get them into computing. So while I'm talking, Matthew's just going to quickly demonstrate this in the background. So he's just going to go into the world and generate some random terrain, and there we go. So this is the Minecraft world. If you look, it looks really low resolution, it's just really pixely, but the simplicity is where it lies because it allows them so much creative freedom. It's so easy to pick up. I mean, I've seen 5-year-olds, 3-year-olds play this and just master it because they understand, they built their own houses. So Matthew's just placing some blocks. So, as I said, this talk is about how to use this to engage with programming. The version of Minecraft on the Raspberry Pi is released for free. It's stripped down, it doesn't have all the features of the main game, but it has one feature which is really beneficial. It allows people to program the game using a set of instructions using the Python programming language. So Python is known for being a good programming language for beginners. It can teach, it's very easy to read and stuff like that. So this version, you can plug programs into it, and it allows a lot more creative control, a lot more potential. So previously in the game, kids can walk around and just place blocks. It could take them several hours to build a castle, whereas you can use the incentive of saying, with this program, with a few lines of code, in fact, less than 10 lines of code, you can do, with these lines of code, you can build an entire castle in a few seconds, whereas it would have taken you an hour. Now, this starts getting kids thinking, what else can I do with it? So it kind of, yeah, as I said, it gives them beyond regular control of the game, and it kind of gets their imagination going. It's also very visual. One of the major criticisms I have a lot about just teaching Python with print statements is that it's just a lot of text, it's just a lot of numbers. Some of the kids get really disengaged with it. It's also very hard to picture a lot of the abstract concepts which are taught in computing when it's just using text and just using numbers. Whereas with Minecraft, you can use it as a very visual way of teaching it. I'm going to get Matthew in a second just to demonstrate one of the program. Can you go into the Python directory and then Minecraft Py demo, please? So it can teach very visual ways of teaching very abstract concepts, which I'll go into in a second. So if you just go into the yeah, if you could do it. It also builds on top of the work of, does anyone know Seymour Papert? Okay. So Seymour Papert was one of the developers of the Logo programming language. Logo is a way of using programming to draw with a turtle. So the turtle would kind of place a line and draw a line. You could use that to teach geometry and stuff. And you see, he viewed this as a very hands-on way, a very concrete way of teaching very abstract things using art and stuff. Could you go to, no, I'll get the directory in a second. So it kind of gives the opportunity to give something very hands-on, something very visual, whereas something that's been very abstract. There's also a course provided by MIT at the moment, if you're a teacher, free online on YouTube, which is Learning Creative Learning. And that's very much about inspiring people, giving them the opportunity to, in the classroom, to create their own ideas, as it's a way of kind of engaging more instead of just kind of giving them a set route to go through.
Sorry, what was that course called?
It's called Learning Creative Learning. So go to. So can you open the top first? So we're just about to demonstrate some of the programs which kind of we've been using in classrooms, which we've been using in workshops. So today we ran 2 workshops on Python programming with Minecraft. This is the first program that we used. Can you just go back to the game and then pick that up? So anyone who's not familiar with programming, anyone who is familiar with programming, there's a concept called variables. Variables effectively store a value which you can reuse and which you can change. So looking at this program, we have 6 lines of code. Can anyone tell me what this does? Go ahead.
It's a teleport program.
It's a teleport program. Can you tell from the name by any chance? So what this program does with 4 lines of code is it teleports the player in the game to a new position. So the first 2 lines are used in every Minecraft Py program that we use. They're just a way of saying to your program, connect to the game and use this set of instructions. The next 3 lines, X, Y, and Z, they are variables. We're using this to represent the position in the game world for the Minecraft. Usually if this screen was smaller, I would point at the top left in your perspective, top left. If you look up there, there's 3 numbers, so 81, 31, 50. And then what we're doing with this program is we're using the program to change that position, so the player will change position. The last line of that just passes that instruction across to the Minecraft game and it should run. So if Matthew does this now. Oh, sorry, it should teleport to 6:21:13. We changed this earlier and I forgot. So when we run it, it takes a few seconds, and there we go. So it teleports, and as I've said, that is a much more concrete, a much more visual way of demonstrating variables than just say doing, as we've said, a finance program or something like that. Got a question? Yeah.
Will that run a local network game as well?
Will it run a local network game? Yes, there is a way for the version of Minecraft Pi on Raspberry Pi can use multiplayer. It's not perfect at the minute, but it's something that's being worked on. So getting back to this, with 6 lines of code, we've achieved something that would have probably taken many, many years of programming to do, because the game is already there, and because the kids are familiar with it, and because it's already developed, it just makes it a bit more quicker to get off the ground. The next program we're going to demonstrate is flowers. Can you open that up for me, please? Just to reiterate, this is actually free. The version of Minecraft on the Raspberry Pi is totally free. All of the resources I'm using today in the workshops, my book is also available free online. There'll be a link at the end of this talk where you can get access to this. Teachers who have used this in the classroom say it's absolutely amazing. The kids just eat it up, and it really helps with some kind of understanding how programming works. Okay, so this second program, the effect of this program is as the player walks around the game world, it leaves a trail of flowers behind them. So we're using basic Python concepts, and I think we've got less than 15 lines of code there. So very short program. Once again, it connects to the Minecraft world, and then where it says while true, that is what is called a loop. So everything after that, everything which is indented after that, will run over and over and over again. So what it does is it gets the player's position, stores that in the X, Y, and Z variables. It also creates another variable which is block type. So block 38 in this case is a flower. And then the mc.setBlock will just pass the instruction to the Minecraft game and say create this block at this location. So as the player walks around the world, over and over and over again, it creates a flower. So can we have a run of that? And can you also change the camera view, please? Yeah. Okay, back to game. So there we've got a player, about, and then we run this. So once again, it's a very visual way of showing what happens. It's a very visual way of understanding it. So as we run around, they can create a trail of flowers. The best thing about this, which is usually how I teach this particular one, is that it gives the potential to play around with it. You can say to the kids, you can change that variable to any number you want. So a lot of the time they'll change it to explosive TNT, which is, you can only access explosive TNT through Python. And they'll just run around placing loads and loads of explosives all over the game, and then explode it, and they'll create a massive mess, but they absolutely love it, and it really engages them with what they're learning. Is that okay? Okay. So those I think we'll just do those 2 programs. Yes, John. So just to go back to, just to reiterate, so with Minecraft, it's just a way of kind of teaching in a more visual way, and it's really engaging. Kids walk away from it thinking, oh, I could do this, or I could do that. And they kind of, it just captures imagination in ways that other ways of teaching sometimes find it difficult to do. Because Minecraft is something I'm familiar with, because it's such a popular thing, because it has these kind of exploratory, creative things already built into it, it's a natural way of learning how to program. As I mentioned at the start of my talk, I have 3 resources which are available in order to learn this. I will quickly open up my folder. Okay, so if you're interested in using any of the resources in after-school classes, if you're interested in using in school, I need to resize this. They are freely available on my blog. They are also linked on the Raspberry Pi website. Okay, I'll maximize that as well. So that's my website there. So artbooks.wordpress.com. The current draft of the book is Well, currently available draft of the book is quite old. If you want to get a newer copy, just email me. My contact details are on the About page. You can also find some short recipe cards which we've been using in workshops today, which go a lot more detail than I've gone into today about the understanding the code behind what's going on, understanding how they can develop their own programs on top of that. Even in the workshops today, we've gone from students, small children who knew nothing about programming at the start to really really enjoying what's going on, really wanting to kind of take the next step and learn even more. So feel free to contact me if you want any more resources so the new version of the book, for example, email me for that, and there's worksheets there. Last thing as well, there will be a scheme of work coming out in the next, I'll say 6 months. So if you are interested in just kind of taking a scheme of work off the shelf, maybe adapting it, if you're not maybe as adept at programming and just want something which is simple, a lot of teachers have found it's quite useful taking this approach, and there will be a more in-depth scheme of work available probably before September. I'm going to aim to have it out before September. So just to wrap up, I'm Craig Richardson. This talk has been about using Minecraft to teach in schools, teach programming. Does anyone have any questions? Excellent. Go ahead.
So I'm not a teacher, I run a code club and I kind of have other hats to do with coding in schools.
Yeah.
Now, my code club haven't yet done Minecraft, although they're very keen to, and I'm sure they will be doing it soon. But a couple of them have kind of, got onto it, a little bit. But how do you kind of separate out playing Minecraft, which they are very keen to do for as much time as possible, to learning from Minecraft?
That's a very good question. I did think about this long and hard. I've found from the workshops, if you can demonstrate to them something which isn't usually possible in Minecraft, it does get their attention. For example, in one of the worksheets we used today, it created a structure for building in about about 10 lines of code. Normally they spend hours and hours just placing these blocks. It's really repetitive and boring. If you can show them the really engaging stuff, it just grabs their attention. I mean, in the workshops today, we didn't have anyone playing Minecraft. We had them learning about how to program Minecraft.
So maybe kind of things that they kind of then want to go back to tinker with to get even more stuff out.
That's it, exactly, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, and it's also stripped down, so you won't find them going and wandering off and finding things as much.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
How appropriate would it be for Key Stage 2?
Key Stage 2. Very good question. I think for the more, I have seen very young children doing programming. It might not be suitable for all of them though. It depends on the child. There is a version which I've recently discovered which is Scratch. Are you familiar with Scratch? So there's a version of Scratch which can be used to do Minecraft programming. So you may have introduced Scratch to them in the past and thought, oh, we could take it a step further and show them something more engaging. There's also, you can even do simpler versions of the programs if you do find that their ability to correct typos and stuff is a bit lower as they're younger. I'm not really taught Key Stage 2, but I do think there's some ways which can be...
I was thinking like sort of 9, 10, 11.
Oh, 9, 10, 11. Actually, a lot of the children we have today, Matt, would you say they're a bit younger?
Yeah, they're sort of younger than 9 and some older than that.
So yeah, a lot of, so a few kids were taught 9, 10, 11. Yeah, actually that's a lot of the people who contact me say they have their 9, 10 or 11-year-old have been working through the book. Some of them have been doing it independently. So that might be suitable for them. Yeah.
So I was going to add to that and say, I've done sort of Year 5 basic Python. So as long as they've got the understanding in place, that I wouldn't see that it wouldn't be possible. It just depends what you taught them before as to whether they would understand Python or whether they just copy code that you gave them. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Anyone else?
Yeah.
I think it keeps asking me all the time, can we program mobs into Minecraft Pi?
You can't program mobs into Minecraft Pi at the moment. Okay. There's something I'm working on in the background which may make that possible in the future, but a few months' time we'll see. Okay. I think there's another question over there. No. Okay, we'll leave that. You sure? Do you want to ask me?
It's probably can I play, is it?
Well,
I have Minecraft, but the point of it, if you really don't want you to die, and you're supposed to die and go slow down the road, what's the point of that?
I'm not sure how I'd answer that question. Cool. If anyone has any other questions at the end, feel free to approach me. You can also contact me by email. One last question and we'll finish up.
Can you play multiplayer on your the Pocket Edition on your tablet?
Yes. Originally when this was first released, you could actually use a regular version of Minecraft on a tablet computer to connect to this. Recently, this is quite more of an outdated program, so it doesn't exist. But if you do have the older version of Minecraft on an iPad or an Android tablet, you can actually connect the two together. If you've got more than one Pi, more than one screen, you can connect them together on a network as well. To be honest, I actually find that doing the network working together is a bit buggy at the minute, but has more potential for children learning together. It's getting to working groups. Getting them to kind of share what they've done is actually a massive incentive to learn and create.
Okay. Thank you very much, Craig.